Welcome back to Site Tech Intermountain Siteworks training videos. In this video, I wanted to explain the difference between staking a line and using it as a reference line. What I mean by that is in this project, I've got a center line. It could be any line that you use. But if I go into the stake option on the top left here, and I go to stake, in here is going to ask me to pick a line. So I could pick a center line, I could pick a catch point line, edge of pavement, whatever it is, as soon as I pick that, we'll come back here to the center line. If I select that and then come out, I'm pretty well tethered to that line. You can see I've got the green controlling line when I'm on random to where it's always trying to give me the information here, the inward outward to where I'm at. But I, at the same time, because up here at the top I'm in stake mode, does not allow me to record points or do anything like that, even though this gives me a design station, meaning that that's 0 or a little further ahead. It tells me how far down the line I am in design station and how far away I am from it. But let's say you had a scenario where someone wants you to reference that line to where you can still gain how far down the line you are, how far you are off, but they want you to record a point or stake another point or measure some slope work, whatever it may be. Let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to hit the menu and measure to cancel that stake out. So I'm in measure mode. Instead of going into the menu into stake, simply touch and hold on whatever line you want to use. You do have the ability still to stake the line like we did before, but there's this select as a reference line. So in here gives you the ability to start that stationing at a different station or a horizontal offset left or right. I'll show you how to do that in a second. What I'm going to do is just leave all this at 0. So when I come out, you need to make sure your info bar panel here or your ribbon at the top is set for reference. So the R is reference and the STA is station and reference offset. Now what it does is you can see I am using the emulator, so that's why I've got a fill of 562, the rod height. At this point, I can go along and check grade, but I'm still just referencing that. So if I come back to the very beginning and click here, you can see that my stationing is back to 0 and I'm pretty well on it. The minus means that I would be on the left side of that. If you look at those arrows, if I zoom in a little bit, you'll notice that those arrows are pointing up that way. So the minus means that I'm 10 feet on the left side of it. If I click on the right side of it, it goes to a positive number. So as I'm referencing this line, I could watch and be like, okay, they want me to take a shot every 10 feet. There is another way to do this, but it's just the ability to do this. It's also a way you could find out off of a center line where to put stop signs or signs along the side of the road. But at this point, while still referencing that line, I can go into my measure type and I can record points. So I could come in here and I could still do a topo point and take a shot there, take a shot there. And I could also come in here and do new line strings if I needed to. I could go in and do a topo of, let's say, the edge of this. So that's just one way to be able to still gain the same information as to length and how far you are off for something and measure it. Let me show you one more thing. You're going to be tethered to this line until you reselect it. You got to retouch and hold on it, and there is an unselect reference line. That's how you get off of that line. One more thing before I end here, let me show you if I touch and hold on this. If I select that line, and then maybe we'll put a horizontal offset. Let's say 5 feet, and we'll put to the right of that line. I want to move that line over because I need to reference that as, let's say there was a quarter crown in the road or a striping line. Someone's like, hey, go give me a fog line or a striping line off of that. And you didn't have that design line work, but you knew that it was a specific number off of that line. Now you can go along and actually just walk along that line and just set right up on it. And right here you could look at your reference offset until you hit that as a 0 or reference offset at the top, wherever you have that. Many different ways to use this as an option, but this is just one that I wanted to show you. So, but once again, to unselect that line, you don't select the line or try to select the line where it's actually at right now, because if I touch and hold right there, it's a free tap or a stake out surface. You actually have to come back over and touch on the original reference line that you used to unselect that as a reference line. So hopefully this video helps on the difference between staking a line and using it as a reference line. Thank you for watching this from SiteTech Intermountain Siteworks training videos.